Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Fabrizio Romano here, as always, to keep you posted on the transfer market. Today, as always, several things to say. It's gonna be a very busy summer for managers, for players. Several things to tell you, and so let's jump into it. Yeah, guys, always to give you all the latest on the market, because we're always here to deliver to you, always here to keep you posted. And today we already have an official statement, a manager for next season. Good luck to the German coach Marco Rose, who is going to be the new head coach of Bournemouth. So agreement now signed, completed with the former Red Bull Leipzig manager, who is going to replace Andoni Iraola at the end of the season. Obviously, Iraola will remain in charge from now to end of May, next month or so, and then Marco Rose will replace Iraola, who is leaving Bournemouth after he did an excellent job at the club, considering several possibilities. But Rose to Bournemouth was a here we go last week, and it's now officially confirmed by the Cherries. More things to say, guys, on the market, and I want to start with Liverpool, because first of all, today we have the confirmation of the exclusive story I told you 2 weeks ago here on the channel on Ibrahima Konaté. I told you negotiations between Konaté and Liverpool are moving to the final stages, are advancing very well, some final clauses to clarify, and then Ibrahima Konaté and Liverpool are prepared to continue together. Today, despite the denials arrived in the last recent weeks, Konaté speaks in public and says, yes, it's true, we are closer. The reality is that the agreement is almost done on the salary. So in terms of numbers, Konaté, Liverpool, the agreement is okay. What's needed now to clarify is 2 points, the length of the contract, and they're discussing this point, but this is not going to be a deal breaker. Then there is important the bonuses on top of this salary, and this is what they are discussing, how to activate these bonuses, what kind of bonuses, the add-ons to be included in the contract, in the new contract of Ibrahima Konaté. But today, to see the player going public and speaking like that, I think is the best news possible, obviously, for Liverpool. So Konaté expected to stay at the club. On Liverpool today, after match against Everton, after the last-minute derby win against Everton for the Reds, Dominic Szoboszlai also speaking in public about his contract situation. And in this case, it's been a different kind of statement coming from Dominic Szoboszlai. Why? Because Dominic says there is no real progress at the moment of my contract. I keep going, I'm happy here, my family is happy here, the contract runs until 2028. So the message from Szoboszlai is, I know it's not a urgent situation, but at the moment there is no agreement over new deal. What I can tell you guys is that my understanding on this situation is that the negotiation is still ongoing between Szoboszlai and Liverpool, so it's not off, it's not far away. It's a negotiation still ongoing and not with crazy distance between Liverpool and Dominic Szoboszlai, according to my information. The conversation is quite positive, but in terms of, okay, let's advance to final stages, as Liverpool did with Konaté, there is still some work to do. So it's not that far, it's not that negative, the situation about the new contract of Dominic Szoboszlai, but, of course, there is still work needed. That's why Szoboszlai spoke like this today. So let's see how the conversation and when, especially when the conversation will advance, but for sure, the negotiation is still on. So I would not spread negative messages around this story between Szoboszlai and Liverpool. Then, guys, an update for you regarding an important name in Premier League. And it's the name of John Stones, the centre-back of Manchester City. Because I can confirm that the expectation, unless there is a last-minute change, is for Johnny Stones to leave Manchester City as a free agent at the end of the season. It's been a complicated moment for Stones in terms of injuries recently, but what I can tell you is that now the expectation is for Johnny Stones to leave Manchester City at the end of the season on a free and try a new chapter in his career. Remember, in May, he's gonna turn 32 years old. And so he will consider all the possibilities together with his family, together with his agents. But at the moment, the expectation internally at Man City is for Johnny Stones to leave the club at the end of the current season. So could be the end of a fantastic story between Stones and Manchester City. Obviously, also after Bernardo Silva, who is also leaving the club at the end of the season. Some big names, big leaders at Manchester City, ready to say goodbye and to try something new after making really history in blue. So John Stones expected to go. And then, guys, I wanted to clarify 2 more situations in this video, as these are 2 topics all the football fans are asking me a lot every single day. One is regarding Liam Rosenior and this situation at Chelsea. Obviously, guys, at Chelsea is a difficult situation in terms of results. We all see that. 0 goals scored in the last 4 Premier League games, 4 defeats. So it's been really, really disappointing in terms of results for Chelsea. But the message from the club is still to support the manager and believe in the manager. Because obviously arriving in January without pre-season is a different thing and all the rest. Obviously, it's a result business. We know that. And Chelsea can't continue like this, that's very clear. So they need to change as soon as possible in terms of results, in terms of impact. So Chelsea maintain their support towards the manager. They keep believing in the manager, but results are obviously needed. They have to change, they must change. So Chelsea have not started active conversations with other managers at this stage. So they are maintaining their positioning in terms of manager trusting Liam Rosenior, but obviously this has to change in terms of results, to not having any kind of media pressure in the upcoming months. And then, guys, the final topic I wanted to discuss today is about Alessandro Bastoni. Because today, Inter director Piero Ausilio speaks in public and says, if Barcelona or any other club are interested in Bastoni, they have our phone number. They should call us. They should not go in the media. So Inter hit back after 2 months of obviously very public interest from Barcelona for Bastoni, and that's 100% confirmed. Barcelona like Bastoni and Barcelona are talking with Bastoni's agents. But I always told you here on the channel, there are no negotiations, no talks between Barcelona and Inter yet. Barcelona and Inter will talk later on, that's what I told you. The valuation is not going to be 45, 50 million euros as it was in the media for a long time. I told you it's going to be more than this. So the message from Inter is quite clear. Bastoni has a contract, Bastoni is happy here, we are happy with Bastoni, Bastoni can do fantastic with us. This was what the director Piero Ausilio said today. But obviously from Inter the message is clear. If you want to have a proper negotiation, it's not in the media, it's call us and let's try to understand how much you can spend. So at the moment, Inter feel that the financial valuation of Bastoni is going to be the crucial point of the story. So it depends on how much Barcelona want and can invest on a defender. At the moment, I maintain what I told you. Agreement Barcelona-Bastoni on personal terms is not completed yet, but is on a good way. Let's say that the feeling is good between Bastoni and Barcelona in terms of contract, in terms of project. There is a good feeling, but still nothing completed in terms of personal terms agreement. But club to club, still very early stages, not even official contacts, and it means that we have to be patient and see how this one will evolve. And so, guys, tell me your thoughts on all these stories, Konaté, Szoboszlai, Marco Rose to Bournemouth, and also your feeling on Johnny Stones, which club should be all over this, and then Liam Rosenior, stay or not, and what's your feeling on Alessandro Bastoni in Barcelona? Hit in comments, like this video, turn on the notification bell, subscribe to the channel. See you soon. Ciao.